Today we will take a closer look on libraries. First, we're going to talk about global libraries. To do so, we go to the top corner and click on Global Libraries. So, why are global libraries important? They're very helpful because if you use the same sign types repeatedly throughout projects, then you can create one single global library and use it across all of those projects without having to create it every single time. So to do this, we go into create a library and we name it. Once we're here, we can then create our categories. In this case, I will go with interior signs. And I will create another category for exterior signs. Now we're able to create our signs within this category. So let's say for exterior, I'm gonna create a monolith sign. And then for my interior, I will create a room ID. In the global libraries, we're able to customize our signs and how they look in our plan. So for this one, I will choose to have a blue marker, and then I can further edit here in the display to choose my text label, which is how sort of that sign will be identified. My personal favorite here would be to do floor, then sign type, and finally consecutive, but there's many options to choose from. And then in the display type, we have simple, which means sort of the text is within the shape that you have selected, and the architectural, where you have a locator and then the label. I prefer to go with architectural and with a rectangle in this case. Now that we have our global library, we can go into our project and go into the library space in our project, and we have here the linked libraries, and there is where I can select the global library. Here it's the little demo library 1 that we just created, and once I click on it, it is part of my project. I can go into my floor plan, and let's say I want to place a sign right here. I can now see in my drop-down menu all of the signs that I had in my global library. And this is the tag that we have decided that we wanted. Now we can see here that we have some restrooms, and my global library doesn't include them because it's a particular sign for this project. We don't have to go and change our global library, but now we can go into the project specific library and create these custom signs that some projects need that are not sort of repeated across the board for other projects. And it's a very similar process. Once you're in the library tag in your project, you can add the category. This is again an interior sign, and we will add the type. In this case, let's go with a restroom sign. Do all of the customizations that we want so that it matches exactly the ones we have chosen on our global library. And now we go again back to our floor plan, and now we will have in our drop-down menu here the restroom signs. This means that your global library was not affected and you can keep on using it on different projects, but if your project has a very specific sign type that is not shared across the board with all of your other projects, you can still create them within your project without affecting that global library. So I hope this was helpful. See you in the next one.